This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Well, despite constant and laughable denials from their founder, Gavin McInnes, of the obvious fact that they are a far right-wing, white supremacist hate group, the FBI has officially classified the Proud Boys as an extremist group with ties to white nationalism. And this is according to a document produced by the Washington State law enforcement. Those of us familiar with the Proud Boys know that they've long been a safe place for insecure, friendless, cowardly little pukes with an axe to grind against a society that they feel hasn't given them each and everything they feel they're rightly entitled to. We've also known them to be a dangerous hate group that traffics in virulent anti-Semitism, racism, violence, and the blind worship of their founder and leader, Gavin McInnes. I mean, what does it tell you about a group of man-boys who revere this little troll as a man among men? I guess I shouldn't be too shocked because the same turds who think Gavin is a mystical Svengali ready to imbue them with social and political power also look up to the debilitatingly dumb Donald Trump as though he is some kind of political wonderkind. So two things here. The FBI, as usual, is doing a fine job of protecting Americans from the myriad threats posed by dangerous extremist groups. The first step to curtailing the Proud Boys' efforts at recruitment and the continued disruption of peace and order across the country is by knowing the enemy, naming the enemy, understanding who they are and what it is they stand for. And in the case of this terrorist group, the Proud Boys, that is chaos, hate, and political influence through violence. And lest you think it's a bridge too far labeling this group of idiots a terror group, terrorism is defined as, quote, the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims, unquote. I wouldn't be doing my job if I failed to remind everyone of that definition every time I mention these assholes. And the second thing is, now that there is no room for wiggling away from what the Proud Boys are, domestic terrorists, we must give them no passes. Demand from the officials in each and every one of our local municipalities that they be treated as any terrorist group would be. Demand from federal authorities that action be taken to protect Americans of every stripe from the violent intent of these stupid dipshits, led by a slightly more cognitively capable dipshit, Gavin McInnes. Let these un-American shitheels know that if they commit acts of terror on the streets of Portland, or Manhattan, or here in Southern California, there will be consequences. Prison for the underlings, and prison followed by deportation for the chinless Canadian clown, Gavin McInnes. Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out my channel and this video. If you like what I do here and you appreciate it, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you really like it and appreciate what I do and you'd like to join my Patreon family, there's another link there for that. It's not just for the podcast, it's also for YouTube. Thanks a lot.